Good afternoon. I'm Landon with Mermaid Press. Today, we're going to talk about some non-lethal 12-gauge shells. I really don't have a lot of experience with like beanbag rounds or anything in a personal setting, but we recently had a bear with 3 cubs in the yard, and man, I really don't want to put a hole in a bear, especially in my yard. You understand. So I was like, let's try some options, okay? I got 3 different kinds, all right? I got the Byrna kinetic shells. They're about 10 in a box for about $30. I got some Lightfield double ball, rubber ball shells. It was 5 in a box for 16, $15. And then rubber slug rounds from Lightfield. Extended range on those for about the same price. So, why did I get 3 different kinds, you ask? Well, different distances, different uses, all right? So, I'll start with the most powerful one, okay, if I don't drop it again, is the rubber slug, okay? As you can see, low brass, there's not a lot of powder in here, same primer. It is a shotgun shell, okay? This is going to be loud, it's got some force, and it says extended range. I think the feet per second on this one was about 600-ish, 500-ish. From what I saw, these are good till about 75 yards. I feel like that's a little bit of a fib. I'm going to go ahead and say 25 to 40 is about where this one will go for what its intended use is, right? Which is hitting the bear and scaring them off, getting them out of here. And these two are geared towards wildlife, not so much home defense. But we'll get into that here in a minute. So, rubber slug, it flies pretty far. It's not very loud either, even though it is the most powerful shell we got. Then the double ball, it's more for like 25 to 30. It's kind of that mid-range round I was looking for. And it's 2 balls, so I'm not going to get a lot of spread. I did not like the thought of rubber buckshot. I didn't want to hit an eye on the bear or anything, really hurt her, or have one fly off and hit a cub or something, and then I'd be in a world of mess. But these kinetic rounds, okay, it's a plastic sheath with a saboed rubber slug in there. It does have a primer, but these have no gunpowder, all right? These are very quiet. They cycle in everything I have. Well, not cycle the action in my A300, but it will fire, all right, and it will extract the shell and whatnot. These are for very close. These are more for people for home defense. So think about the distance of, the farthest distance within your house, okay? That's kind of what these are for. So I was like, I got these to try, but I got these for the bear, okay? One thing, when you're using less lethal, all right, we'll not say non-lethal, less lethal rounds, you need a lethal backup, okay? I don't want to be out here in my shorts and my Crocs and have these not do their job, all right? You need a handgun or something to back up some lethal force to that, especially with bears. Around here, there's black bears. They're so skittish, and when they have cubs, they become not skittish and very unpredictable. Me and Mama had a showdown a few weeks ago, and it really could have went south. So I had a pistol on me, but I didn't have these yet. So, I was just trying to be big and scare her off, and the cubs were in a tree near me. So I was like, they know I'm here now. Let's back in. They came down and left. But having a lethal backup for when you're using these. Now, as far as a home defense, if lethal force is authorized, these are good. All right, we're not just gonna crack open the window and get somebody off the porch with these. It's not gonna look good for you in court, my guess would be. So for these, stick with the wildlife. If you need to use a firearm for something, you need a firearm, and you don't want to be mixing ammo. I'm not putting a regular buckshot and a regular slug on a sleeve when I'm using these. I really don't, especially in the dark or under stress. I'm not going to be able to be like, oh, that's a totally rubber slug, put it in there, and then bang, blow a 1 ounce size lead slug through something. it's not really the intended purpose behind these. But I did want to share. These are still being tested. It's not something I feel like this is not something I'm going to be relying on, right? But as far as hunting goes, if you wanted to take some of these or camping or whatever, maybe a shockwave loaded with just these and a pistol, fine. It's a lot to pack around just for some non-lethal oomph, and it's still a gun. You pull that thing out, people see a gun, okay? Especially non-learned people. So do you want them to see a gun and see you shoot it and then go tell somebody you shot something? I don't think so. So, but I'm happy with these so far. I haven't used them on the bear yet, just in distance testing myself. So, but I got these off of Midway, USA. I just Googled, it's hard to find beanbag rounds. It's easier to find rubber shells, rubber rounds. So, but I'm still a little iffy on the buckshot, all right, for, I think, good reason. But I know it's been a minute since I put a video out. We're getting back into the swing, all right? We've been busy around here since the hurricane. I know it's been 2 years ago now, and I do want to do an after action for that, just to kind of really cement a couple years after what the area is like and what people are like after. So stay tuned for that. Maybe soon I'll be a mainstay on a show, so we'll see about that. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll answer them. And hug your families, train your butts off, be hard to kill, stay safe.